Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. General Hospital takes aim at a John Cates murder mystery. General Hospital paints a target on spoilers back that 100% doesn't belong there. Only on General Hospital could the most hated character be the federal agent who's working to bring down a mobster and his mole. Granted, Cates has a knack for rubbing everybody the wrong way, but he's doing his job with extra intensity, owing to his history with Sonny. Yes, with particular relish. Yes, without regard for coloring outside the lines. Yes. At the end of the day, though, he's still trying to see that some criminals are served their just desserts. Yet it's the damnedest thing. All of Port Charles seems to sympathize with Sonny and Carly and Jason. Viewers too. What bizarro world is this, where we're hoping that the mobster who once ordered Cates murdered is the guy for whom we feel sorry? Are we in the upside down? How else to explain why Carly gets to act self-righteous, even as she's been caught dead to write some racketeering charges? How much Kool-Aid has to have been drunk for the root for character to be Jason when his horrible punishment has been working, in essence, for the cops instead of the robbers? Even when Michael decided to try to have his adoptive father brought to justice, he didn't do so because Sonny had amassed a fortune by proving that crime pays. He did it because Sonny had dumped Carly for Nina. It's freaking weird. Stranger still, the broken moral compass of General Hospital has painted a mile-wide target on Cates' back. We've been thinking for a while that the show was planning a Who Killed Ava murder mystery. But now we're thinking Cates will be the character at whom someone takes aim. And watch the would-be killer be Danny, so that Jason can play the hero by volunteering to take the fall for his and Sam's son. What's your take on Cates? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while you're here, Port Charles' criminal element over the years. Today on General Hospital, Trina questions how well she knows Ava, TJ, and Alexis continue to argue over Christina, and Christina undergoes an emergency C-section. In Ava's Metro courtroom, Christina warns Ava that if she forces her to get on the stand, she'll tell the court how she messed with Morgan's meds, which led to his death, and that she killed Connie. Ava yells, "Don't threaten me." Ava reaches to grab Christina. Christina steps back, screaming, "Don't touch me." Christina trips over Cates' bag, tumbles through the window, and falls into the pool below. At the pool, Joss yells for someone to call 911 and asks Gio to get the first aid kit and backboard. Brooklyn calls 911 as Joss jumps into the pool and turns Christina, who is face down, over. Blaze sees it's Christina and screams out her name. Natalia holds Blaze back, telling her to let Joss help Christina. Trina looks up at the broken window and sees Ava standing there. Ava quickly closes the curtains and then calls Scott and tells him that she needs him like she's never needed him before. Joss holds Christina afloat and tells her to hang in there. Joss lets a panicked Blaze know that Christina is breathing. Gio brings the backboard into the pool and helps Joss get Christina onto it. They float her to the pool steps and strap her onto the board. They get her out of the pool, and Trina brings towels to keep her warm. The paramedics show up and take over. Dante and Chase arrive, and Brooklyn tells Dante that Christina is the victim. Dante goes to his sister's side and tells her to hang in there and that she will be all right. Meanwhile, Chase orders officers to lock the entire place down. Chase asks Brooklyn if she saw what happened. Brooklyn says she didn't. She was meeting with Blaze and Natalia when Christina dropped out of the sky. Blaze wants to ride with Christina in the ambulance, but she can't as she's not family. Joss says she's Christina's sister and will go with her. Natalia leaves with Blaze to go to the hospital. Dante tries to call his father, but he's not answering. In Ava's room, she calls Scott again and asks where he is. She cries that everything is falling apart, and she needs him to come to her room at the Metro court. Ava keeps thinking about the fight and Christina going out the window. She tells herself that it was an accident and that she didn't mean for that to happen. However, she knows nobody will believe her unless she helps them believe what she wants. In Sonny's office, he tells Lois they should table this conversation as he has a lot going on. Lois won't, as this affects her daughter's future. She wants to know if the money he's invested in this label is legit. He says it is, so she insists on seeing where the money comes from. Lois states that she loves him, but she has to look out for her daughter. He says he'll put her in touch with his accountant. Lois tells Sonny she hates leaving things like this between them, but for now, it's the way it has to be. Later, Sonny picks up his phone when Gio calls him. Gio explains Dante has been trying to reach him, and there's been an accident at the Metro Court. He tells Sonny Christina fell out of a window and into the pool. At the pool, Chase tells Dante to go to the hospital as he can handle this. Gio interrupts and tells Dante that he got through to Sonny and he's headed to the hospital. Dante says his dad will care for Christina, and he wants to know what happened. Dante says they need to get a hold of the hotel security footage, and they need to get into that room. Dante notes the curtains are closed, so why didn't Christina grab them when she went out the window? Chase says that means Christina wasn't alone, and someone closed the curtains. Trina approaches Dante and Chase to talk to them. Later, she checks on Gio and tells him he should be proud of himself, especially since he has no medical training. Gio feels he should have known to go for the backboard without Joss telling him. Trina says, thankfully, they had Joss. Gio doesn't know how this happened. Trina reveals it was Ava's room Christina fell from. He says, your boss. She says Ava is her friend too. Gio asks how well Trina knows Ava. Trina admits that maybe she doesn't know her at all. Trina says she knows Ava isn't a saint and has done some bad things, but she's been her friend and mentor. Trina explains that Ava's always had her back, and she feels she's more than the mistakes she's made in the past. But now maybe she has been wrong. Maybe Ava is everything everyone says she is, or worse. Brooklyn splashes water on her face in the ladies' room and recalls the accident. Lois finds her daughter, having heard what happened, and asks if she is okay. Brooklyn tells her mother that Christina was the woman who fell into the pool. Lois is shocked, and Brooklyn tells her how great Joss and Gio were in the heat of it all. She also feels bad for Blaze, who was going out of her mind. Lois fears for Sonny, who said he wasn't in a good place earlier and that he too will be out of his mind when he learns of this. Brooklyn asks why she was with Sonny. When Lois avoids the question, Brooklyn assumes they were talking about her. Lois admits she had questions about the origins of the money Sonny's investing in the label, and not all of Sonny's income comes from legitimate sources. Brooklyn can't believe she thinks Sonny would use mob money to finance this label. Lois tells her daughter she has a blind spot regarding Sonny. Brooklyn wishes she had brought these concerns to her instead of going behind her back. Brooklyn asks her mom to respect her and her judgment. Lois says she'll always be her little girl, and she'll always look out for her best interests. Brooklyn understands. Brooklyn thinks back to Christina and how cruel it would be for something to go wrong now that the baby is almost here. In her room, Ava begins throwing things around and making a mess. She says Christina did this to herself. There is banging on her door, and Ava opens it to find Dante standing there. Ava explains that she knew the police would be here soon, so she didn't leave the scene. Dante asks what happened. Ava states Christina came here unexpectedly, and she thought she was coming to help her with her custody suit. Dante doesn't believe that. Ava thought Christina had realized Sonny was unstable, and Christina was subpoenaed by her lawyer, Scott. However, Christina was irate, and she demanded that she recall the subpoena. She says Christina lost it, became violent, and tried to attack her. Ava says Christina lunged at her, but she moved out of the way. She explains that's when Christina tripped over her shoes, which are now where Kate's bag was, and she fell through the window. Dante relays that a witness saw her standing at the window and closing the curtains. Ava admits she closed them as she was afraid to look down and see what happened. Dante thinks she's lying. Ava asks what he is accusing her of. Dante thinks she can figure that out. Eva insists this is her hotel room. Christina came here and was unhinged, just like her father. Dante can't believe Christina tripped over a pair of shoes and fell out of a window with such force. Eva says Christina is very pregnant, and she came at her, and everything that happened was her own doing. Dante doesn't believe her and places her under arrest. At the hospital, TJ and Alexis continue to discuss Christina's actions. Alexis says they don't know what Christina will do, and her daughters are in an impossible situation. TJ asks what she will do when Christina tries to take their baby. Alexis hopes that doesn't happen, but she can't be in the middle. She can't choose between her daughters. TJ says there is no getting around this, and Christina is preparing to take their baby. He reminds Alexis that she told them that Christina has the strongest legal claim to the baby. Alexis says a law is the law, and there is nothing she can do about it. TJ calls her a coward and walks away. Alexis follows TJ and insists there is nothing she can do here. TJ says if she does nothing, it will look like she's choosing Christina and not supporting Molly. Alexis says this was her biggest fear since the beginning. TJ argues that Christina changing her mind is theft, making her Sonny's daughter through and through. Alexis asks what he'd have her do. TJ wants her to talk to Christina as she can get through to her. She might be the only one who can. TJ says if she chooses Christina over Molly, she'll lose Molly and it will shatter her family. Alexis cries. She tried to warn them about this and what could happen. TJ snarks, "That's the best you have. I told you so." Alexis tells TJ that instead of blaming her, he should sit down and talk to Molly. TJ says he and Molly agree that the baby is theirs, and Christina has decided to change her mind and thinks that is her kid. Meanwhile, Christina is raced to the hospital, and in the ambulance, her blood pressure begins dropping. Christina opens her eyes and asks if the baby is Oak. She is confused, and Joss tells her they are on the way to General Hospital and explains that she fell through the window and into the pool. Christina cries as she wants her parents. Joss says they are probably on their way to the hospital and to hang on for herself and the baby. Christina says it's almost here, and then the machines she's attached to begin to beep erratically. Christina is brought into the hospital with Joss by her side, and the paramedics update a doctor on call about what happened. TJ rushes over and sees Christina is the patient. The other doctors take over, and Alexis and TJ ask Joss what happened. Joss tells them what she knows. After speaking with a doctor, TJ explains Christina is hemorrhaging as the placenta has separated from the baby. Natalia and Blaze arrive, and Blaze asks TJ where Molly is. TJ says she's in court, and he doesn't know how to tell her about this. Blaze says she'll help him, and they walk off. Sonny arrives, and Alexis embraces him. Natalia tells them how Joss saved Christina's life. Joss explains she rode with Christina in the ambulance and tried to ease her mind the best she could. Eventually, the doctor comes out to talk to the family. He explains Christina has gone into shock. The baby is in fetal distress. The baby has separated from the placenta, which is its lifeline. He informs them that Christina is being taken to the OR for an emergency C-section. On the next General Hospital, TJ tells Jordan this is her fault. Blaze asks her mother if a part of her still feels that way. Joss leans on Dex and tells him that 1 second could have made all the difference. Anna questions Trina about what she saw. Ava swears to Chase that this was a terrible accident. Sonny tells Dante they will pay.